Hey, YouTube, and I want to talk about the natural inclination to do the blame game. Um, Democrats want to blame the Republicans. Republicans want to blame the Democrats for the shutdown. Instead of doing that, I'm going to tell you the facts as I see them, and you can take that as blaming or not blaming, but I'm not going to blame anybody. I'm just going to tell you the facts as I see them and take them as you will. First off, the Republicans control the White House. Trump's a Republican. The Senate, 52, 53 Senate seats. I'm going by memory. I'm sorry. And 219 House seats. They have the majority in both chambers of Congress, and they control the presidency. So they are the majority party. All right, that's just a fact. That being said, I know about the filibuster and the 60 vote rule. I know about that. Okay, which means you can do a negotiate, which the Democrats want ACA subsidies expanded. Yesterday, they put a proposal in for Republicans, expand it for a year, and we will sign off on your CR, continuing resolution. Republicans are like, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to do that. We will negotiate after you agree with us. Problem is, in Democrats' eyes, and it's proven true, that once the Democrats have zero leverage, they're not going to do anything. There's no reason to, and they got burned before by this, and they don't want to get burned again. I know the rumors is illegals getting insurance. Illegals getting insurance. Problem is illegals don't qualify for insurance. The only medical illegals get is the emergency room. And if you don't blame anybody for that, blame Reagan because that law was signed by Reagan like a long time ago. They don't qualify for Medicaid. Um, and the ACA subsidies, which this is what the shutdown's about. It's not exactly about Medicaid. It's about the ACA subsidies. Illegals don't qualify for that. U.S. citizens do, and without the subsidies, rightly or wrongly, um, people's insurances might double to triple, and that's not good. Um, I know you can argue, well, the ACA, which is Obamacare, by the way, people don't know what the ACA is, or Obamacare, whichever one you want to refer it as. You say, that's a bad law. It's causing rates to increase. Okay, fair enough. What's the Republicans' alternative plan? They don't have one. That's the problem. You know, there's no plan that I can look at and say if it's better or worse because they don't have one, which is a problem. And that's just a fact. They can claim, oh, we got one. Where is it at? They've never shown anything at all, which is a problem. So yeah, that's what the it's about. It's ACA subsidies, which illegals can't even get. So it's not about illegals getting insurance. That's not the problem. Or second option is you have ways to get past that 60. What you do is called blowing up the filibuster and using what they like to call the nuclear option. The 60 vote rule is that, just a rule, and the majority party can blow up any rule they want. Republicans don't want to do that for a multitude of reasons. It's politically costly. It is. Factually, it is. Um, and the fear is it may bite them in the ass because Republicans are not going to stay in power forever. Democrats can't blow it up either. They have. Both of them have blown it up for judges and stuff, but they really don't want to blow it up for legislative things or budget stuff. Trump wants them to, but the Republicans are pushing back. I don't think they will. I'll be surprised if they do. But yeah, those are your two options. So whose fault is it that the shutdown's happening? At the end of the day, the Republicans control everything, and like I said, they can. And if they truly wanted to end the shutdown, they can just blow up the filibuster, and pass the CR today if they wanted to. Republicans could open up the government today. That's just a fact. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. You know. Um, so yeah, take that as you will. I'm not gonna say who's at fault, but there's a hint there. The party that could open it up right now is likely the one at fault for that. I know people will say, well, why don't they just vote with Republicans and open it back up? I always say this, and I'll say this if the Democrats was the majority party. It is not on the minority party to vote for the majority party's goals. And I know people are going to say, well, they voted for the same CR. Yeah, but things and goals change. They do. And the Democrats, rightly or wrongly, want the ACA subsidies renewed. So, and they said they're not going to budge until that happens. So it is what it is. And then, and as far as yesterday, which I don't agree with the Democrats on, honestly, at all, they did a bill where employees, all government employees will get paid, not just the ones that's working, but the furloughed ones as well. And Democrats didn't agree to that, which I wouldn't agree to just the certain ones, because I don't want Trump picking who gets paid and who doesn't. So I wouldn't have voted for that as well, but I probably would have voted for the employees get paid. But then again, you got to understand, if you get rid of the pain of it, Democrats lose a lot of their leverage. And yes, Democrats have leverage, even though they can blow up the filibuster. Republicans don't want to do that. They're likely not to do that. And considering the Virginia elections, which went terribly, not only Virginia, but everywhere, Republicans did terrible. So that's telling me that Republicans are getting the, at least politically, getting the worst part of that, honestly. For example, the Virginia House, Democrats have the largest majority in over 30 years. I think last time they had a majority that big was like 1990. I think 64, 63 House seats now, up from 51. Come January, it'll go from 51 to like 64. Something crazy. I think it's 64. I think they won 13 House seats. That's crazy. And that's the largest Democratic majority since 1990. That's just one example. Like I said, you can blame whoever you want to blame. But the fact of the matter is, Republicans can open up the government right now without a single Democrat vote if they really, really wanted to. That's just a fact. Then you can take that as you will. They have enough votes to open up the government right now. Yes, they would have to do a costly thing of blowing up the filibuster. And they don't even have to do it for everything. Just this bill. Or for continuing resolutions, you no longer need a majority vote. But for laws and passing laws, you still need 60. They don't have to totally blow it up. They can just blow it up for this, if they so choose to. They don't want the government open that bad, apparently. Until next time, YouTube. Take care.